Hello everyone. In this video, I want to explain how to restore a file that has been deleted, or you wanted to go back to the previous version for some reason, an error was made or something to that effect. But before I do, I want to kind of just go over Git in general in a more simplified form to kind of help understand this process. So in the beginning, we had folders. And folders had files. And if we wanted to make a change to a file without actually overwriting the original, we would copy that folder. The way we used to do this was on the actual server, and this was on our computer. So we had a copy of the original. We would go into the file and make a change to it. Save the change, and then maybe eventually decide we want to put that back in the original one or deploy it to the server, if you will. So we would copy that file and then try to put it back here, and it would say you want to replace this file because it's the one that was there before and you're changing it. So you would say replace this destination. Well, Git works the same way. If you would reimagine this is, instead of original, it's main, your main branch. And then when you create a branch, you're basically just copying the folder and calling it, branch X or whatever you're calling it. And you're making your changes in your branch. And then when you do a merge, you're basically taking the files that changed and dropping them into main. And of course, if someone else did the same thing, then you would have a merge conflict and you can solve that a different way. But this doesn't only happen when you do a branch. It also happens when you do a commit. The only difference is that instead of it being called branch X, the new commit is basically a hash that is just some random hex characters. Probably wouldn't be in there. And then if you made more changes and you committed that, it would be, again, a different hash. So if you wanted to get a file from a previous version, you would just need to know the name of that folder or the commit number, and you could pull it into whatever the current branch or main would be. And I'm going to illustrate this. I just was trying to kind of explain this as folders, but I may have actually made it more confusing. So let's just proceed with some actual code work. I'll open this in code and bring up my terminal here. And so we've got this. I don't know what this is down there. We can just delete that. So we've got this file1.txt. This says this is the right thing. And this has been committed. It was committed 12 minutes ago by me. So if we do our log, you can see there's one commit, and it's got this hash, this really long series of characters here. These are very unique. You could usually get away with just knowing like the first 7 or so. Let's pretend that this is what's live on the website right now or wherever. And you or someone else comes in and changes this to the wrong thing. And you go ahead and add it and commit it. And so now this is what's live on your server, and someone says, hey, that's the wrong thing. And you go, oh no, how do I get back to the right thing? And the way you would do that is you would just get this file from the previous commit. And so you would need to do a git log or somehow find your commit hashes. So you can see this was my initial commit 480,473, blah, 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 right? This was where the right one was. This is the wrong one that is just before that one or just after that one. So this is our current one, and we want to go back one, and we just want to get the file from this one. So what you need is the commit number. This is basically the name of the folder, you were thinking about it like that, of the previous version of this file, of all these files. So I'm just gonna copy this. And the command we're going to use is the checkout command. It's like we're going to move into a different branch, right? Because every commit is basically a folder, so we can move into a folder if we know its name. So we're going to do git checkout, and I'm just going to paste that hash there. And you can see we're in this branch. It's kind of got the weird number there, right? It's telling us this is not actually a branch. This is kind of like some kind of middle place. But you can see that the file is correct inside of there. So let's go back to our main, right? And we're back to the wrong file. So if we want to just get that file instead of going into that other branch, we can pull a file out of a branch with this command. Git checkout, like you're going to go in there, and then the name of the branch, which we already know is that hash, and then these 2 dashes, which says we're not going in there, we're pulling something out. So we'll put those 2 dashes in there, and then we specify the file that we're trying to get, and it will pull that file out of that branch, out of that folder, out of that commit, whatever you want to call it, and bring it into this one. And so you can see now it says this is the right thing. And if we do a git status, you'll see that there's a modified file, and it is the file that we pulled out of that other branch or commit. So then we'll proceed like we just added this file. So we'll do a git add and a commit, and then we're done. So now if we look at our log, we'll see there are 3 commits here. The first one that was the initial commit, and then we added the wrong file, and then we went back into this previous commit, this 480 whatever, pulled out that right file and added it and saved it as fixes wrong file. So I hope that helps clarify how to pull something out of previous commit when something goes terribly wrong. If not, let me know. Peace out.